Emmanuel Thompson met Jeff and Debbie Greer in 2001 when Emmanuel had left Nigeria, where he grew up, to come to Cincinnati for graduate work. The three of them had a common interest both spiritually and for eradicating poverty. And so together, they launched Self-Sustaining Enterprises in 2002. With systemic poverty, the only way to make a dent in it is to have a sustainable solution, and funding is one of the most important missing links.
We're here on this beautiful property on Jos, Nigeria, where Self-Sustaining Enterprises owns 85 acres, and we're setting up a working farm along with a self-sustaining community here in the village. We've been working on this property, and now we're seeing the fruit of our labor.
The idea with Self-Sustaining Enterprises was to create enterprises, the sustaining profits of which could fund missions work on an ongoing basis. And in this way, we could invest on a continuing basis into those areas here in Nigeria and other places where poverty will only be eradicated if we can have an ongoing presence.
We've been working here with the people here in the Kissy Up village to show them some of the opportunities they have for the future. There are people who are working here on the SSE property who are on staff now with Self-Sustaining Enterprises. Their lives are being transformed. Their families are being transformed. We are attacking systemic poverty. We are giving people a hand up, not just a handout.
At Self-Sustaining Enterprises, when we talk about a hand up, what that means is that we're not just providing relief for a day, we're providing economic restoration for a lifetime. We are here on behalf of Self-Sustaining Enterprises.
Mun zo a matsayin Self-Sustenance Enterprises, SSE kenan.
We have in the United States the same problem that you have here, that there are more people than there are jobs. And so we need to create new jobs through new enterprises that can employ people so that you can fulfill all the potential that you have in your life.
Ko a ƙasan mu a can muna da irin damuwoyin da kuma kuke da su a nan. Wani lokaci za ka samu ayyuka basa nan.
Our goal is not just to give people that proverbial fish for a day or even to help them get enough fish to eat for a lifetime, but rather to help them to learn how to buy the fish pond for themselves. As SSEs continue to grow, we've had more and more people come forward with ideas. One of them is a guy named Pete West, who brought an innovative idea for microenterprise called aquaponics.
In our program in Nigeria, SSE had laid out a master plan of different types of businesses that they thought would be successful in Nigeria. One of those that they identified was aquaponics. Aquaponics merges two technologies. First is aquaculture or aqua farming, raising fish. Second is hydroponics, raising fruits, plants, and produce in a non-soil environment. Both of those represent relatively well-developed technologies. Aquaponics is somewhat new. We're merging the ability to raise fish with the ability to raise plants simultaneously. The nutrients for the plants are provided by the waste products from the fish. In turn, the plants filter out the water for recycling back to the fish, creating a mutually supportive environment. In order to learn more about the aquaponic process, we did a lot of reading, work on the internet, but there's no substitute to just doing it ourselves. We were offered some space from Benken's Nursery and Florist to install learning models here to better understand the technology and how we could apply it into a developing world environment. We were able to prove out some of the designs that we were going to use so that when the team arrived in March, we were ready to actually do the full installation. The installation of the project in Nigeria took the team approximately 3 days. The single biggest obstacle I think we had in Nigeria versus what we had here was the availability of power and electricity. The property that we have for self-sustaining enterprises in Nigeria doesn't have power. So we had to develop a solar energy solution to power the pumps that are necessary for the aquaponics system to work. The biggest job was putting in the plant beds, which use a raft system. So we had to put in a tray that held approximately 6 inches of water and was lined with a plastic pond liner to keep it from leaking. That tray had to be leveled very carefully so that you had the proper flow of water. One of the things we've learned is that there's a lot to learn.
Poultry enterprise is a staple for us in Nigeria. The reason is that it's easy to do and it represents protein and dollars that are important for the people in Nigeria.
If you are serious about the chicken and you are with them and feed them very well, you will be solve your problem. You have to start on your own business. And now I'm training chicken for somebody else because I want to learn from where I am working to start my own because I see the progress from where I'm doing the chicken business. That is why I want to start my own because I need that progress too.
This is Gidimbege. This ministry was started by SIM. SIM is a ministry that we partner with here in Nigeria, and they do an incredible job of investing in the lives of the people in the community. And here we have women who are seamstresses, and they basically make clothes that are sold in the market. Many of the women who work here are widows, and many of their husbands died of HIV/AIDS. Which is a real tragedy here in Nigeria. The women are the ones who usually take care of the family, and the widows may have 5 or 6 children. And as women have jobs, they create income for their families and support their families, which is very important.
This is why I think the promise, the potential of self-sustaining enterprises is so exciting, because this is just the beginning. We've got project work here in Nigeria and a few other countries, but I see a future where we could literally have thousands of business people deployed in hundreds of different countries, working on pockets of poverty all over the place with sustaining solutions based on enterprise initiatives that fund missions and ministry work and literally lift people out of poverty on a sustaining basis. And from a spiritual point of view, literally invest in the lives of people so that they can grow up to fulfill the purposes in life for which God created them in the first place.